What is up, podcast, and welcome to the Raise Flays Podcast Network. We have another amazing show for you today. Today we have on the CEO, CFO of Young Nails Incorporated, Mr. Habib Salo. Young Nails Incorporated is the leading manufacturer of nail products for the professional and the nail enthusiast as well, all over the world. And it just so happens to be the company that I've been working for the past 18 years of my life. Habib, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And when you say 18 years, bro, is that right?
I must like torture.
Oh my gosh. No, like is an understatement, bro. You love it.
I love it. I love it.
That's crazy, bro. Yeah, you were the first admin. I think that because we went through a few people, we tried some people and it just didn't, it was like a week, 2 weeks and didn't work out. Yeah. And you're the first real deal employee, in admin that we have, and you're still with us today, man. So,
yeah, there were some names that we tried, and these are names that come up.
Yeah,
believe it or not, in other shows, but this is a name that we don't mention. The guy that I took over for, we talk about that because I've had Ramon on the show.
Oh yeah,
he's on the show.
Yeah,
and so the name, but we never say the name.
Yeah. That was
it's the funniest thing.
Well, what's funny is that was very short. And then you came on board, and then that person came back. Yeah. And then it's like, it didn't work the first time. Let's try it again. Still doesn't work. So bizarre, dude.
Oh, dude, it's funny. So
I know.
Yeah. So I've had Ramon on the show.
Nice.
Our art director as well.
Yeah.
C's has been on the show, did a great job.
Right on.
I've had painters on the show, bro, recently. I've had sculptors. I've had musicians, all on the theme of passion.
Yeah.
And that's what the show's about. So
beautiful. And
I would definitely say for you obviously have a lot of passion, but yours is a little different. Yours is what I call passion on steroids, bro. to borrow a phrase from C.T. Fletcher, it's like an obsession.
It is.
Everything you do, bro, everything you go after, it's like razor sharp. It's like this razor sharp focus going after that goal, and you don't stop until you get it. And so that's what I want to talk about today with you, especially. So the first question would be just where do you think that passion comes from? And have you always had that kind of passion?
Yeah, definitely. It's been in me, bro, since I was a kid, because when I would get into things as a kid, I would get into them deep. And so I got into DJing when I was a kid, and I would come home from school and just spend hours behind the turntables making mixtapes, from as early as 5th and 6th grade. And then oddly enough, I got into bowling, and I was obsessed.
Always has these good these stories you never hear.
Yeah, man. No, it's true though. To the point where I would record it on VCR and I would watch them over and over, excuse me, and over again. And I would tell my mom, drop me off. There was a bowling alley in La Mirada at the time. It was called La Mirada Bowl. I'd say, Mom, drop me off. And in the summertime, she'd drop me off in the morning on a Tuesday, and I would just bowl all day, working on it, practicing. And then I would be in a bowling league on Saturdays, and our team usually would do pretty well. But I was obsession is the right word, but that thing, has definitely, I don't know, man. I think the curiosity behind something is always that's the main driver for me. Is I'm always fascinated and curious about how something works, DJing or bowling or whatever it is. How does one become really, really, really good at it? What are they doing? What are those steps? And so that curiosity for me is the initial driver behind it. I'm just endlessly curious about how something works. Sometimes it can hurt me at times, because
something.
Yeah, it could be a detriment to where maybe I don't know when I was younger, I would say, if I got into like maybe things that weren't healthy, I would be curious and go
Yes.
way too hard.
Many of us have
Uh,
done that at a young age.
exactly. But overall, channeling that to just positive things in my life and just learning, like endlessly learning. I think that is the biggest key for me, but yes, it did start from when I was, from when I was a kid, for sure. I have very clear memories of that.
That's dope. That's something me and you have in common a lot, is the curiosity. Like that's part of
Mm,
why I started the show. And why, you know me, I'm always asking questions like, how you doing?
totally.
Oh, yeah, it's great. But you're always open to discuss those things with me.
Oh yeah.
But like that curiosity, and you see that like in people, like, and like you take it to another level. Like you go, if it's bowling, you're going there every single day, you're working it out, working it out,
Yeah.
working it out. You see that in people that are highly successful at the things they do. Like Kobe Bryant, for instance, he would
Yeah.
spend the whole day shooting baskets, shooting baskets, shooting baskets. People would leave and he'd still be shooting baskets. And
That's
then he would
right.
go do the game,
That's right.
and people wondered, like, why was this guy so good? It's because he spent so much time. And when we say like he spent, not like a normal person, he spent more time than the average person would. And that's why he became great.
Oh yeah, I mean, not only spent more time than the average person, bro. You're 100% on there, but I would take it even a step further, Ray, and say he spent more time than the average professional. In his
Oh,
field, he was like, because you hear stories about. First of all, to get to the professional, the NBA is like your chances are so slim. It's so hard. You have to work so hard, but then when you're there, the level is so elite that Kobe even went way above and beyond even that level, of those guys who would look at him and go, whoa, what is this guy doing?
oh
So
yeah.
he went,
Yeah.
he was
That's
like super intense. I know it's
if you look at it like that, the way you put it, like he's not just
crazy.
is not this guy at the YMCA. He's playing at the professional level,
Yeah.
and he's playing at another higher level than
Higher level
just
than
the average
them.
professional would.
Yeah.
That's
Like
insane.
great. He's great among, great,
Great
already
amongst the
great,
greats.
great amongst the greats, man. Yeah, exactly. But I agree with you there. It's interesting. There's always this argument of like talent versus hard work and which one plays out more and what's more important. And it's kind of a combination, of both, and in my opinion. And I think that people put way too much value on talent. I think people also short themselves too quickly because they say, well, I'm not talented enough, and
Mhm.
so I think there's a kind of a blend, you know, if I were to take one away, I would say take the talent away, because I think hard work in the end is always going to give you way more opportunities than just raw talent. I think talent in itself is important, but talent without hard work, it means nothing to me. I think you got nothing to show for at that point. But hard work without talent, I think you can learn how to do something over time, and you're going to be still successful in the end. You may not be the number one, but I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus, man, you don't have to be the number one. You could just be really good at something through hard work and still be very successful,
And you'll be stoked about it. You'll be like, dude, I'm in the game.
I'm in the game.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you're playing in the game. And I think that's big. But Kobe had that rare combination of both, where he was extraordinarily talented, but also he was one of the hardest working individuals in the history of basketball. And so when you put that combination together, it is just deadly. And like Tiger Woods is the same, and Michael Jordan is the same. That's the one thing they all have in common, and
That work ethic plus the raw
plus
talent,
plus the raw
that
talent. Yeah.
combination, just a fire.
Fire, dude. Yeah.
Just fire. That's what I was going to ask you too. I'm glad you put an emphasis on the work, because I was going to ask you, like, if somebody doesn't grow up necessarily with that passion, that fire to do their thing, they don't even know what they want to do in life. Say,
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Let's say my son, he's a senior in high school this year.
Yeah.
He has no idea what he wants to do. My mom's like, go to college. You better go to college. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to go to college. He doesn't even know what he wants to do. He talks about, I want to work at McDonald's. And I think
Yeah.
he thinks it's funny. Like, but I think it's him crying out saying, like, I don't know what I want to do.
Sure.
So do you think that people without that passion, without that drive, and maybe without us even knowing what their talent is, could they find that? Could they be trained in that? Could that be kind of pulled out of them somehow?
Yeah.
Give me some pointers.
Yeah, no. I think at that age, I think exploration, this is just my opinion, of course, but I think exploration is huge. Like, even though I had some fire in me when I was a kid and I got into some things and I was really into it, I still really didn't know, I thought I wanted to be a doctor. And then, I went to college and gave that a shot and didn't work out. And then I went into music and gave that a shot. And then I tried teaching and I went and lived on my own and I just explored. I think exploration is a big part because you just really don't know what is going to light and ignite that fire. I was lucky in the sense that, I found a few things that I just was really into, like bowling. How random is that? Bowling, bro. But
now let me ask you about that. Did you use the shoes that they had there? You rent the shoes, or did you
got my own shoes, bro?
I had to do that too. Even I got invited to a party to go bowling. I wouldn't even rent the shoes. I bought the shoes before I got there. I was like,
good on you.
They spray them.
I know, dude.
I don't care what they spray them with. I'm going to buy my own shoes.
I am with you 100%, bro. I had my own shoes. I had my own ball. I had my own bat. Like, I got set up, and, but it's so random, right? It's like insanely random. And I think we went bowling with some, another family member, and it just like, I was like, oh my God, this is I don't know what it was about it. It was just amazing. So
was it the plaid pants? You think it was the
plaid definitely pants? The plaid pants, bro.
They've got the gear. It's like golf. You like golf for the gear. It's not
for the gear, bro. Exactly. I could care less about the stupid game. Yeah, but I think exploring is really important and just trying, different things. I think that's important at a young age to see if there's any spark or any passion. I think that freedom, I think it's huge, because a lot of times I think that kids get locked into I'm supposed to do A, B, C, D, and E, but maybe the kid is, maybe music's the answer. Maybe art's the answer. Maybe being a coach is the answer. Maybe being a teacher is the answer. Maybe, who knows what it is for them.
Yeah, but interesting, to see it's also interesting to see like the different generations, right? Like I tell them that stuff, like you don't know what you're doing. Like you're going to go to college, like you have no idea okay, you want to go, if you do want to go, it's cool, but what is it that you want to go to college? Do you know? No. Yeah. Then maybe that's not the thing for you. Try a bunch of different things, go travel, do some different things. It's funny how I say that, but my mom is over here, the old school traditional. You just go to college, just go for 2 years, 2 years. And that way you'll figure out there's no guarantee that they're going to figure out what they want if they go to college.
Probably won't figure it out in college. I mean, I most certainly did not figure it out. What I got out of college was I gained a lot of confidence in college because I learned how to compete, so to speak, because I just never, it was weird, bro. I went in there I was pre-med. I was like, my mom wanted me to be a doctor. And so I'm like, okay, I didn't want to do it, bro, but I was like, okay, I'll do this. And then I started taking these classes and they're really hard and I wasn't doing as well as I should have. And then I sort of challenged myself and tried different ways of studying and approaching. And then I started demolishing these kids in my class. So you said that it became competitive, which is Yeah.
Super interesting that you say that.
Yeah. Very competitive.
This is college. Was the competition between you and the other students?
Yes.
It was. Okay.
Yes. So the way that the classes were set up was that the teacher only gives out 10% of the class. These are classes of 400 kids, right? So only 10% get A's. That's it. So you have to be in the top 30 out of 300 to get an A. So it was all on a curve. The way that it was graded was on a curve. So they do this on purpose because they want the top students, to move on
to become real doctors,
to become doctors,
humans.
Yeah, because you're exactly. So this is kind of an early phase. So in that type of environment, and if you're not getting A's, you're not moving on. You're not going to go to med school. So,
oh wow,
it was ultra competitive. People, studying at all hours of the night, trying to get that top spot. But that was the thing. What I learned was how to compete. I thought it was crunching everything in and working crazy hours, studying day and night. I thought that was it, but
that sounds like the way to me. Like that's
it does, right? It actually does until you do it, and then it doesn't work. I'm getting B pluses or B's, and it's like, why can't I get A's? Why can't I be in the top spot? And what I realized is that it's a twofold thing. This is what I took from college, is that working hard is very important, but it's not the only answer. And what was happening was everybody studies, bro, hard, right? So everybody walks in.
I tried to study in high school. It didn't work. I failed a bunch of classes.
Yeah, exactly. But that's because there's two parts to it. The first part is you study really hard, but everybody's studying hard. So when you walk into the room to take the exam, everybody is armed with the knowledge.
Everybody's at that level.
They're at the level.
They're there.
So
what is 10% of those people can only get through this? So
that's it.
Boom.
So what is the difference? The difference was that when I would take the test, I would get nervous, or I would get I would get frantic, and you have an hour and then you're kind of speeding through. So what I started to understand is it's performance too. How do I start to perform on the day of the exam? So what I would do was I started changing. In my second year in college, I was like, oh, I'm going to change this up. So I started, instead of studying the week before the test and cramming everything in and then having all the information in my head and then trying to puke it out on the day of the exam, what I started doing was I started divvying up my time. I started studying daily. So right after my class, I would go and I would study and actually comprehend and understand the information. So by the time the test came, the day before the test, I would shut everything off. I would close the books. I would not study. And I would go and I would walk and I would meditate and I would breathe. And an hour before the exam, bro, I would get away from everybody because everybody's waiting in front of the classroom and there's
everybody's doing the jiggling, freaking everybody's freaked out at the test. What are we going to do? Oh my God.
So dude,
get away from that vibe.
Get away from that vibe, bro. So I would walk away and I would literally, dude, breathe for an hour before my exam. I would breathe just in and out and be so calm and relaxed. Let everybody go in. And then I would be one of the last people to walk in, and I would take my seat, and dude, I would be ultra relaxed. When the test came, Ray, I'd be so zoned in, and it felt like nothing. It was just like,
dude, this is crazy because it's opposite of what everybody else did. You saw it.
Yeah.
And you see it across the world, and it's the normal thing. Everybody takes the class. They know at the very end of the semester, there's going to be this huge test, but they wait until the end of the semester when they announce the test. Then they cram everything that they should have learned all the time. You're sitting there absorbing every single day. If you had a class on Wednesday, it was Wednesday. Everything you taught on Wednesday, you absorbed it. The next Wednesday, whatever you taught on that day, you absorbed it. Every single incremental time that you spent there, you absorbed the information.
Correct.
When it came to time for tests and everybody's freaking out, oh my God, what am I going to do? And they're cramming in, they're staying up all night. They're drinking 10, 20 pieces of coffee.
That's right.
And they're going to Starbucks and they can't even function. Some of them end up not even showing up to the test because they fell asleep. It's a crazy chaotic thing. You're like, during that time, I'm not even going to study.
No, I'm taking the
Walk.
day off, relax. Yes.
I'm going to
Correct.
meditate. I'm going to
Correct.
prepare myself.
Yep.
And even to the point of staying away from the nonsense and the vibe and the craziness of the ecstaticness. That is crazy strategy, bro.
Yeah. And dude, and then I started performing at a level. I started absolutely dominating the classes. I was number one, number two, number three, top 10. And I was like, oh, I get it. It's about like real preparation, like true preparedness, like being absolutely prepared and actually understanding the information. And then when it's time to perform, you've got to be relaxed. You can't be, you have to be, like in the zone. But the only way that I could be in the zone on the day of the exams where everybody's stressed out is by, I got to breathe. I've got to meditate. I have to be in a relaxed state of mind so the information flows out. So I learned, dude, that I started doing that in college. And then, dude, my grades just started going up like crazy.
Right.
And, but, I didn't end up going to medical school. I didn't take my own, at that time I was still young. So when it came time to take in the med school, it's called the MCAT, the big test. I didn't follow my own advice. I crammed, I went back to old habits. I did totally average on the MCAT, didn't go to med
the
school.
big one. It's supposed to be the big one.
The biggest one. Yeah. I was just like, I went back to old habits. That was me just being young. But when after college, I took that, I was able to always remember that. And then through college and then
everything
after college,
you do,
everything I utilize that. It's all about being prepared. It's about doing a lot, the research that I want, obviously working incredibly hard, but staying relaxed is such a big part. I think it's one of the most overlooked components of like performance on anything, whether you're building a business, whether you're doing a podcast, whether you're trying to do well on exam or sports events, especially. You always hear these high level athletes talking about, they're being in the zone and being in the state of mind that's like very relaxed. It's about really relaxation,
And then you hear about the athlete that loses that zone. And that's when they get out of that zone. And that's when they
tense up and
then they have to call guys like Tony Robbins over and get back into that state.
Dude, for sure, bro. For sure.
It's great, dude. This is all making sense. After 18 years of knowing you. All right. So it's like an athlete, bro. Everything you do, that's where that obsession, that intensity comes from. You obsess about it almost like the athlete does, like the Kobe Bryant example I gave. It's a test. It's a freaking test. Everybody should just be like, okay, I'm just going to study. You don't do that. You take it serious.
Yeah.
And one of the things I've learned from you over the years is detail. You're highly into detail, and you take like I said earlier, you take these incremental classes and you go into the details, you absorb it. But then this other side of the thing of relaxing is
huge, bro.
It's many times in my life, this, I could have, spoken well or done better if I just relax. And many people out there have done, different things. And I think a lot of people who have tried to do things, that's the kind of line. Can they relax or not? And they go back, or if they can relax, then they move forward. That's you. That's Will Smith. That's Kobe Bryant. That's Jordan. That's any athlete anybody who has taken it to the next level. Will Smith said something like, nobody likes Will Smith anymore. Will Smith said something the other day about how God puts things at the other side of greatness, at the other side of the hardest part of life. It's like the hardest part of that thing. The hardest part, it's on the other side. The other side is like getting to that other side is like the struggle. And like, once you get to that other side, and everything opens up, it's kind of thing.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. Like, and obviously everybody has their own struggle, whatever you're trying to do, you have your own, there's no avoiding it, right? You have your own struggle. And I think pushing through it's way easier said than done. It just is like, it's
Oh,
just always easier said than done. When you're
everybody would
in
have
the
done it.
struggle, everybody would have done it.
There have
Yeah,
been
exactly.
tons of actors, tons of golf players, tons of Tiger Woods.
Tons.
These are superhumans. Almost,
Yeah.
you know,
And I think, you know, that like, it's kind of everything combined, right? Because you know, even with our business, you know, with Young Nails, it's ups and downs, constantly ups and downs. It's never just, you know, it'll go up for a while and then it comes down. It goes up and comes down. It's a total roller coaster. But knowing like that obsession and curiosity to figure my way through this, out of it and through it, is like a puzzle. And that's the part that I think keeps me going. And then, you know, a little bit of stubbornness of like, no, I have to figure this out. I have to figure this out. That, and then the final piece is really being objective and honest with what is going on. You know, I think a lot of people struggle with that piece. Like, they might have the hard work component and they might have the ability to drive through difficult times. But if you're not honest with yourself, you're never going to be able to fix the errors that you're making. If you make a mistake, you're like, it's all good, I'm going to keep going. But you don't actually stop and go, well, why did I make that mistake? And you know, how do I not repeat this and do it again? You're going to be doomed in this.
You're going to be like
cycle.
Evil Knievel. You're just going to keep going off and breaking your ribs.
Dude, exactly.
All you had to do was move the thing over a little bit, a little angle, and you would have been fine. But no, you just kept going.
And you keep making and dude, I'm telling you, bro, like I think that is the biggest problem, is people they're either afraid to make mistakes, or they are what's it called? They don't admit them properly. They don't observe
kind of
them.
Blinded by that.
They're blinded a little bit and just sweep it under the rug, versus like, this is actually a message. It's like trying to tell you something like, hey, do it, change it up a little bit. Now, you don't know what to change or how to change it, but that's why experimentation is such a huge part of the process, you know? But you can't, it's hard work. Plus you've really got to be objective, you know? And I'm still in that mode, bro. Like, I don't, you know, like, there's levels to everything, you know? I mean, we've been able to build a very successful business, but you know, if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, we're nothing. You know what I mean? We're like tiny compared to, there's levels to everything.
We're not Johnson and Johnson.
No,
we're huge. I mean, the Young Nails is huge, but we're not Johnson and Johnson. We're not BMW.
No,
you know, we have an amazing product. We have an amazing community, but
we're not a $1 billion. We're not $1 billion company, right? So it's like, I have to operate, you know, still to reach the level that we're at is extremely difficult. You know, like, we're in the pros, right? Like, we've sort of made it in the pros, but we're not the elite in the pros. We're not, like you said, these massive corporations where somebody built it and got to this level, but we're still playing in the league.
We're playing the game.
We're still playing it. We're playing the game. And I'm cool. Like, I'm not sitting here like trying to like, I'm gonna build $1 billion corporation. I mean, that's like, there's some insanity there, you know. You like, where I actually enjoy spending time with my family and,
yes.
and like you know, so but I'm very happy with what we do have, you know. So it's a perfect balance for me, but you in order to even get to that level, like, you have to have true objectivity. You know, you have to be very objective about where you're at, and you have to be honest with, hey, like, could I have actually done something different here? Like real talk with myself, you know? And then, like, okay, my numbers are not good. Am I spending too much money? You know, is the marketing working? Okay, now it's not working. Do I need to tweak some things here? Do I need to pull back on that? Like, and then you start doing it, start turning dials, you know, with some logic behind it. You don't want to randomly do that, but You've got to turn dials
some
constantly.
data, and that
Yeah.
took time to get there. So this is gold. I mean, the work ethic, the performance, the objectivity. We're going to get back to that. We're going to continue. How do you get, so how do you, okay, talk about, you're still learning. You got to this point where you have this huge company. It's world renowned, biggest nail company in the world. Talk about the journey, a little bit about the journey.
Yeah.
Like, because when you're talking about objectivity and you're in it, like you're in the mess of it.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the messes in the beginning when your mom comes up to you, Young comes up to you and goes, "Hey, I got this nail business and I got this idea. We could do this." What was that like when your mom's like, I think you were playing drums in New York or something like that. and your mom's like, me and Greg got this great idea. We're doing the nails. What was it like being in that and being in all that mess and, and that, euphoria on your mom's side of being an entrepreneur and stuff like that. And then you come in objectively using your powers of objection and going, what the hell is it like? Talk to me about it.
Yeah. Dude, that's great, bro. Yeah, no, first of all, I wanted nothing to do with it. That's the honest answer. She's always trying to pull me into the business. And I was like, I've got my own thing. I want to explore music. I love music. And this is what I want to do with my life. I don't care about making money. If I make 40 grand a year and I have an apartment for the rest of my life, but I can do studio, work myself up to that level to do studio work and be a paid professional.
Because you were obsessed with music, I'm sure.
I was obsessed.
You're obsessed with both. When you got into music,
yeah,
completely absorbed in
obsessed. That. I was practicing 8 to 12 hours a day, bro. I mean, I was like and this is where like it's to the detriment where I did it so much I hurt myself, that much physical
and stuff.
I got tennis elbow in both elbows. Even to this day, I can't hold sticks properly. And cause my fingers, like I permanently damaged some,
my elbow's like that from playing congas. It happens.
Exactly. But I didn't want anything to do with it. And, she was on euphoria. When I finally came into the business, the truth is it was extremely depressing. And, I have images of like I was a teacher at that time. I was giving half of my salary to my mom and my brother so that they could pay bills. Right. Jesus. So I would cut her a check for half of my salary. Every month I would cut her a check so that she could pay bills. And then when I finally came on board, at that time, I was thinking about going back to school to be a doctor, maybe a lawyer or whatever. And, I started working for my brother and my mom part-time and, we needed money. So I had a credit card. And it was out of force, dude. It wasn't because I thought business was cool or I liked the nail business.
Business wasn't cool back then,
No. Yeah, it wasn't. You're right.
It's just recent. Right.
You're right. Totally, bro. Absolutely. It's just recent. And I didn't want anything to do with it. But it was like, if I go do my own thing and if I'm successful, but my family's still suffering, like this is going to suck. And I literally had a conversation with one of my good buddies at the time. And I told him that. He was like, "Why are you doing this, dude? Like, this is not what you want to do." And I said, "Yes, but I can't live with the fact that if I do something and it works out for me, but my brother, my mom, and my dad are in like."
Do you think that's a cultural thing, bro? Like for Korean family, for Mexican families, it's the same way. It's
definitely.
Like we're taking care of our parents. Like that's always been the thing for our cultures.
Totally, bro. Totally cultural thing. I believe so. Like coming up, just growing up and seeing, Korean, Middle Eastern, a lot of similarities with the cultures. I think it is, I think
is there certain cultures are like that, like you got to take care of your parents. What are you talking about? You got to be there all the time. Like like people think I'm crazy at my mom's house every day. Like, like why? Like some people don't get it.
So a lot of people don't get it 100%, dude. And when I was 25, 26, I think I was 26 years old. I was like, I can't do that. Let me see if I can help. And so I used all my credit cards, cash advanced on all of them. And I was officially in the like 60 grand, I think I pulled out and
Holy
deposit it in the bank, bro, at like,
it's hard to pay $1,000 on a credit card, but
oh,
60
dude.
grand is like a
Yeah.
balloon. It's like a giant balloon that
It
gonna
was,
burst.
it was a lot. I remember going to the bank at Farmers and Merchant Bank in Fullerton and just laying out my 3 cards and then boom, cash in the bank. And I just told my mom, I said, we just have to make the payments on it monthly. That's all I ask. You don't have to pay me, but I don't want my credit to go to.
So you didn't have any hope of like, okay, this is an investment. I'm going to make this money back.
I just wanted to pay it back. I wasn't looking as an investment to like make more off of it. I was just like, let me just pay it off.
None of that hope was there. Like there was no like,
no, but I will say this, like once I unloaded the credit cards, bro, I was like, I'm in. Like I am officially in the business.
You're not invested, you're vested.
I am fully, bro. I am in, exactly. And at that point it was,
oh my God,
how we have to make this work now. Like we have to figure out a way to make this work because I'm not leaving until we make this work. Like there's no choice now. There's no, and I think that's for me, not everybody functions this way, but for me, I felt like my back was against the wall now. And that, I had one of my cousins asked me one time, he was like, what do you think the biggest reason for your business success is, like for Young Now success? And I said, back was against the wall. That's the truth. Wow. Like it wasn't.
A lot of people have said that. A lot of huge like business owners and people that have gotten into business was like, I had no other choice. Rappers have said that. Like I had no other choice. I was selling crack on the corner. Blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
I had to provide for my family. And then this came along, boom. Like a lot of successful people have said that.
Yeah. There's just truth to it. It's like, there's no other option. Like if this doesn't work, we are just deeply, deeply in trouble, like to a level that is you can't even comprehend. So it was like, no, we got to keep the hustle. It's, it was like a real daily hustle every single day, coming in and like trying to scrap something together just to gain like a millimeter, like scrap, grind all day. And then, I had to get another job because the company couldn't afford. So I was tutoring kids in Irvine. So I would like work until like 3. I would go to Irvine until like 7, 8 to tutor so that I could make some money and then come back home and then do it all over again. And Greg at that time, he would, I'd be like, yo, we got to pay bills, bro. So he would pack up the truck with products. He would go to beauty schools. He would do demos to all the schools in SoCal and sell product, make money, come back, give it to me. I would pay the bills. We do that every week for years.
Crap. So there's this fire that's happening, that gasoline being poured onto your obsession, your ability to perform in these types of situations where your back's against the wall. It's almost becomes, and we haven't got to that point yet, but it will become this explosion to this inevitably a great success story.
Yeah. Yeah. At the time, we just wanted to get to zero. Like we were just like, let's just want to get debt free. I just want to pay these bills off. Like that's all I'm asking for. I don't need anything beyond that. So, but what we didn't realize was we were putting in place a lot of this foundation that would ultimately set us up for not just getting to zero, but like setting us on fire in the long term. Yeah. And it took us 5 years to pay off. I mean, I had to negotiate with credit cards, vendors, suppliers, tell them I can only make monthly payments a little bit every month, but eventually we will pay you off. And there wasn't a choice. I was like, it's either that or you get nothing because you're going to have to sue us, or I don't know what to tell you. We don't have the money. They all agreed. They were like, okay. And eventually we paid everybody back. We got to that point. We were able to get to zero, and then it just caught fire from there. Cause we built this, it started to grow to zero. And it's funny. You just don't, I'm like, okay, we'll get to zero and then we're good. We're debt free. We can just have a regular business. But what you don't realize is that the growth just went past zero and just kept going, you know?
What do you think caused that? Did the brand start to be looked at? Did the packaging start to
Yeah.
be looked at? Did the education that we were putting out at the time work?
Yeah.
What do
It
you think
was,
started to
it
start the
was a,
fire on Young Nails on the brand?
it was a combination of, so trade shows for us was the real big ticket. We invested in a trade show booth that was way too expensive for us. Like it was, bro. It was way too expensive. Like we honestly, we couldn't even afford it, but we took out a loan. We invested in a booth at that time. That was the way to market yourself. So we made ourselves look like we were way bigger than we actually were. Okay. And we would attract, it was one nail tech at a time. Go to the trade shows, one nail technician at a time. We were trying to convert. And then also that started attracting some international distributors. You know, they would come, they'd be look at our booth and be like, ooh, what is this brand? You know, and they'd be impressed. And we started, you know, we were able to expand into Europe. Like we pick up one distributor at a time. And that's where the majority of our business grew from.
International.
Like, yeah, in the 2000s was
Wow.
from 2000 to like 2010, it was all international. That fueled us, you know, and then from 2010 to 20, it was more focused on domestic. But that was the key for us was let's differentiate ourselves by doing really good customer service all the way through. And that was the key, you know, real customer service, really solid, like come to our booth. We're going to show you actually how to do nails, not try to sell you, but show you the techniques. And then they would be like, oh my God. And then they'd buy our products, you know, so you start building that trust.
Because to give people a picture, back in the day when you would go to the trade show, you would go to a booth. Now, when you say go to a booth, everybody has that picture in their mind from back in the day of the trade show. You went to the booth. The booth meant there was this wall or this cabinet, and you were facing this guy, and he's behind that cabinet, and there's this distance, and the guy's selling you across the table. But there wasn't this tightness. There wasn't this interaction. There wasn't this ability to touch the product. Everything was in glass. Everything was covered, lock and key. I'll get it when you tell me which one it is. I'll run over there, grab it, and then we'll check you out, sort of thing.
Right.
There was none of this relationship that you guys brought to the trade show.
Yeah.
You changed the thing where it opened up the booth.
Yeah, totally, bro.
People came into the booth. They didn't go to the booth. They went into the booth. It opened up to this thing that happened that people wanted to go to. It went to this show that people wanted to go see. Obviously, you're a nail tech. If you're at the NAMM show, you want to go see the guitars. If you're a nail tech, this is the show you want to see. You're at the nail show. It's exciting already. Now you're going into this Young Nails booth. You got this crazy booth. It's a bulky booth. I remember the booth and crates and freaking it's hard to get around. But when it comes open, and it lets people in and they get to know Habib, they get to know Greg, they get to know Ray, they get to know the educators, talk one-on-one, sit at a manicuring table and watch them teach and learn how to do the product.
That's huge. That was it.
Explosion.
Yeah. We were innovating, dude. You literally hit the nail on the head, Ray, because opening up the booth, we were the first company to do that in the industry. And that was like real innovation at that time of like, oh my God, what, like you could walk in and it was very welcoming. And that actually came from a suggestion from our Irish distributor, John O'Sullivan. He basically told us, he's like, you guys need to do like a European style booth where you do it and people can walk in. We're like, oh, we like that. Huge hit. It was a huge hit, man. We were crushing it at the trade shows. We were always doing well, building our customer base little by little by little by little over time. And that opened us up for distribution and, you know, ultimately a lot of growth. So I think like that's the big sort of takeaway from that is like, we're always trying to innovate. We're always trying to do something different in the industry. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't, but the goal is to try to make it work more than it doesn't, obviously. And we've been able to do that. And we're still doing that today, bro. Nothing has changed. We're still, I'm on calls with Caesar and Ramon and Tracy and our whole team of like innovating our marketing constantly. You know,
it's
how we
changing right now, I think.
right now.
We've been doing very, very incredible marketing when to fast forward after Young Nails becomes this incredible brand. There's this moment in time, maybe around 5 years ago, where it starts to plateau.
Yes.
Talk about that. So talk about that for business owners that are like, they got the fire going, and then all of a sudden it just kind of tailors off and kind of plateaus. What happened during that time, and how did you get that?
Yeah, basically at that time, dude, it was, you know, we were in, I think, like 3,000 stores nationwide. Our product was being distributed by the biggest, you know, companies, nail company or beauty companies in the world: Sally Beauty, Ulta, BSG, and
which is the dream of every nail brand, every hair brand, every dye that's out there. This is the dream. These are the stores you want to get into if you're in the beauty business.
That is exactly correct. That is your dream, to try to get into one of these dealers. And what you don't realize is that they'll put in these big orders in the beginning, but then they tell you are responsible for moving the product off their shelves. They don't help you sell the product off their shelves. And so if it doesn't sell, they'll send you back stuff. They want big discounts. They want money for advertising, and your profit margins just keep shrinking and shrinking and shrinking until it starts to hurt your business. And that's ultimately what happened to us. Was we were in so many stores, and initially it was good. It was this, you know, initial boost, but then it just plateaued.
But then the leash starts sucking the blood out of you.
That's exactly right. Point. It does. And so that's why we decided to make that change of, we're going to go direct. We're going to bypass our distribution channels and just go, not because we're trying to, like, you know, mess anybody up or screw them over, nothing like that. But it was just for our business, the distributor route, you know, with these big chains wasn't working anymore. So I had to make a change. So we decided to go direct e-com. We just started to do marketing on social media, a heavy content output on YouTube, Instagram, eventually TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook community. Today we do live content on Twitch, Instagram Live. You know, we've got a Discord channel.
Stop. We're going to go there. But it's a huge decision, bro. I don't think that to give people out there a picture of how the beauty business works. All business, and I know this because I have some very close people that are in the beauty business as well. Very close. The way to do the beauty business is distribution.
Yeah.
It is the only way you do it. It's the way that we've been doing it for 20, 30, 40 years. You got to get in the stores, and the store sells you. When you decided no, because you're in this niche, bro, you're in this beauty business. This is how they do things. How did you know it was the right thing to do? And after I'm sure people were telling you, like, no, Habib, you can't be doing this. You're in the beauty business. You got to be in these stores. And you're like, no, I'm going to go online.
Yeah.
At that time, that's 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 when the new car got invented. Literally, that's how. A different an innovation. Talk about innovation.
Yeah, that's completely different, completely new model in our space for sure. First of all, we tried everything else. So we had the experience of a lot of stuff not working, right? So
back against the wall again.
I've literally tried. I've hired marketing managers. I've hired marketing consultants, marketing firms. Dude, firms, bro.
People, executives.
Yes. Burning money, burning cash like there's no tomorrow. And then, like, I remember I was talking to Ramon and Tracy and Greg, and like the Dollar Shave Club commercial was at the front of my mind. Like we need something like this on YouTube, or like some type of content. And I was trying to put something together, and I was showing Ramon, and then Ramon actually showed me this YouTube vlogger. His name is Casey Neistat. And he was like, "Hey, Habib, check out this video." And he showed me a video, and dude, I was floored. and he was like, "I think we need to do something like this." And I'm like, "Yes, Ramon, this is exactly, you're right. This is what we need." And that started that journey of creating content. And so, started off creating content. It wasn't the right content at the time, but I didn't care. I just wanted to start creating and doing something new and different. Started posting daily on Instagram, put a schedule together of 2 videos a week on YouTube, committed to it like rain, shine, in the hospital. It doesn't matter what is going on. I'm posting 2 videos a week. I do not care.
It's kind of what you have to do in this social media sphere, right? If you're not consistent with it, they pretty much fall off. Like you'll see the numbers just go.
Yeah, it dies. It dies a slow death. And even when you're consistent, you'll be like nothing's happening, or you're losing steam. And you have to have the faith in, again, it's that faith of like, I have to keep trying and trying and trying and trying until it hits, until I figure out what is the right sort of thing. And that's what we were committed to it. We were committed to figuring out what is the answer, of this puzzle. And about 9 months into doing it consistently, we saw this shift in our e-commerce business, where it was this large bump in sales. And we were like, well, maybe it's a glitch, or maybe it's a one-off. Sure enough, the next month, boom, it hit again. And
so then you start doing it, and immediately there's this little bump.
Yeah. Well, it took 9 months.
9 months.
Nine months of like daily grinding. Yeah. Every single day, every week, posting 2 YouTube videos. So if you think about it like this, that's 36 weeks of posting 2 YouTube videos a week, and daily content on Instagram.
That's good that we highlight that, because you have the guys that are just starting out. They're like, I've been on this Instagram thing for 5 weeks, and I ain't seen one sale out of this. What's going on? Like, people don't realize it's a marathon. It's not a race.
Dude, it is a marathon, bro. It takes a lot of time for it to settle in, and for people to trust that you are going to be a source for this type of content. And then for the content to actually be good enough to bring people in and watch it. And you know what I mean? It takes time, dude.
To build that trust. Yeah. That
takes time.
Totally makes sense, because, well, just what you said, you have the content, but now your audience, or your customers, or your community now have to understand that this is where we get that content. Number one,
right?
And then, do we trust that content that's coming out? And is this going to be a continual, constant, like,
right.
Is it going to be consistent?
That's
seems
correct.
Like those are the 3 layers. Like,
those are the 3 layers, bro. You hit it on the head, and people don't think consistency is a big deal. It is just as important as like the quality of your content. Like if you don't have consistency, you're done. So you need all of that. 100%. You need all of that. And once we saw that, the sales tick up, we were like, oh, okay. So we started pouring more fuel on the fire, more content, and it really laid the path for like our growth, man. It really set it on fire.
Crazy. It's out of control. And so, and then it's out past couple of years, it's been out of control. I mean, you see,
it has been, yeah.
What's good about it, I think what's good about it for any businesses out there is like, I know of times where we sat on product, bro, where we've had product in the warehouse for years, months. It didn't know. Now we can, if we need to, and in a good way, and we're constantly putting content, and we're constantly sending out good message, and we're giving more than we receive.
Yep.
And we have product that we need to get out of the warehouse now in a positive way, not in a salesy way. We can give good discounts.
Exactly.
We can support the community with these great discounts, support the nail tech, and move product so it doesn't sit and get dust on the shelf. I think
That's
that's
right.
any business.
No, it's true. Now we have that as a tool that we can use, but at the same time, it gives value, and it's huge, bro. It allows us to keep things shifting and moving through our facility. Very important for any inventory based business. Like if you're service based, you don't have to worry about that. But if you're a product based, inventory based business, then that's something that you need to have as a tool. 100%.
Cool. Now talk about the move into now we're doing a lot of Twitch.
Yeah.
There's people out there. I was talking to a barbecue guy the other day. A lot of the cooks and stuff I talked to, they have no idea what is Twitch. They don't know what that is. Talk about the movement. Twitch is originally a video game platform where kids go on there, play video games till 24 hours a day, 12 hours a day, and kids will watch that. If you look at any kid today, they're watching people play video games on YouTube, Twitch, and whatnot. Why this move, and not just your company, but other companies have started to move into the Twitch sphere? Why do you think that's so?
Yeah, Twitch, it has changed. They're opening up their platform beyond just video games. So there's yoga, there's health shows, there's comedy shows, there's like movie review shows, there's cosmetic beauty shows on there. It's all different kinds, and there's such a massive audience there. I think it's smart of Twitch to expand, to grow. There's massive amounts of content flowing through Twitch. It's smart of Twitch to diversify their content so they could bring in a wider audience, which is ultimately going to be more beneficial for Twitch. And it's a different kind of live. So Twitch, it's not just going live on Twitch. You have the live going on, but then you have the chat, and the chat is really where
money like monetary. I'm talking about like, this is fun. Like people are talking.
Yeah.
We're getting community, and we know what our customers are talking about.
It's a different type of community building, Twitch is, and it's a deeper layer of community building. It's very interactive. They can express themselves in different ways on the chat, and you're engaging with the chat live in a completely different way than you would on Instagram or Facebook Live. It's a different layer of interaction. And there's a lot of opportunity right now. I feel like, we're just starting to crack.
The wheels are starting to turn on this baby. It's starting to work.
It's starting
and it
to turn,
took time. This wasn't something you did just yesterday. You guys have been doing this for a couple of years now, right?
It's been just over a year, actually. It's been over a year. And yeah, I mean, our, Ramon and Caesar, they're really kind of the backbone of this show. And the things that they've implemented have completely changed the channel, the graphics, the updating, the new tools that they've used. There's there's a way to if you watch our show live, while you're watching, you can earn points. And you can it's called channel points. And this is something that Ramon and C's kind of unlocked. And you can earn points, and then you can redeem them for your own custom glitter, or you can make me dance, or you can do a private one-on-one with Gregor Tracy. Or if you want to save up, you can purchase a kit. There's so many things to redeem them for. Or you can if you have a really important question that you want us to see, you can highlight it by redeeming points. And then that's a guarantee that we're going to answer your question. You can also post a picture of your nails, and you can have us critique them. There's a lot of different cool things.
I mean, talk about giveaways. This is giveaways to another level. Another level. If I was, I don't know, into guitars and I watched the guitar show, and the dude, if I kept watching it, I gained points, and for 5 points, I got a new pack of strings. For 10 points, I get a brand new guitar. I can imagine Nail Tech's senior show, loving the show anyways, because Habib and Tracy are the most hilarious people you ever meet. It's like the Regis and Kathy Lee for nails. but seeing a great show, and then at the same time it's fun and interactive, and it's a game to them. They're getting points,
Yes,
and then they're getting things that they love about the brand anyways. They're getting free glitters, they're getting to have their nails displayed on the screen, possibly a free Zoom class with Greg, which is the ultimate prize for some people.
Yeah, for sure.
Not for me and Habib, but for nail techs, for sure.
Some weird
but it's crazy, bro. It goes into this, it builds this community, and it moves into, and I'm going to go somewhere with this. Trust me. It moves into freaking your Discord. Talk about Discord and how that connects.
Yeah. So Discord is a new, think of it like, so it's a platform that's relatively new, I'll say.
It's an app, right? Is it an app?
Yeah, it's an app. You can download the app, and it's also, you can go to the website. But Discord is like people or companies can have their own channel. They call them Discord servers. Okay. So you can have your own Discord server. And again, this is a new way. It's community building. It's a new way to build a community. And so it's invite only. So if you wanted to join our Discord, you would have to click on our invite. It's pretty open. Like, I think if you go to our YouTube channel, I did a video on what is Discord, and then in the description, you can click the invite, and then you can accept the invite. And now you're part of our Discord server. And so what is that now? Okay, you're part of our Discord server. Well, imagine Discord as like there's multiple chat rooms on the server. So if you go into Young Nails Discord, what you're going to find is dozens of different types of chat rooms, and the name of the chat rooms is in the description. So like, we have one that's, general questions. So if you have a general question, general talk, where people just go in and chat. There's one on, acrylic, gel, nail art that you can go in, and we're always showing new videos. There's a Q&A section. If you have a nail question, you click on that chat. You can go in there and ask
question gets immediately answered. Like if my nail just popped off, they can go in there and
they can go in there, and there's usually somebody in there. Karen is very active on the server. I pop in there at least. I try to go in there once a day and just be active.
Talking directly to you.
Oh yeah. You talk directly to me or Karen or whoever, anybody from our team. We're there communicating directly with the people that are part of the community. And it's a great interaction. Again, it's just a different community, but here's what's fun is you can connect the Discord to the Twitch. So, and you can also have like private rooms. So for example, if we're not doing this right now, but let's say we had a membership, right? A Young Nails membership. And we said, okay, it's going to cost you $500 to be a part of a Young Nails membership. And if you're part of the membership, you get, 4 classes a year, you get free shipping and handling on all Young Nails products, and you get access to a locked private chat room on the Discord server. So only members can go in, and then we're obviously going to be more active in that room because these are paid members now, and only they get access. And we'll do like special giveaways, or like they'll get sneak peek on product launches. Like we do a product launch, they get first dibs on the product launches always. Like they get to put their order in first, so they're guaranteed the product when it launches. So if there's like 500 people in this private room, they're guaranteed the first 500 people, they're going to get it. And then everyone else gets divvied out the rest. So it's like stuff like that you can do, and you can connect it to Twitch so that you can have live Q&A. So if we're on Twitch, if you're connected through our Discord, you can actually come on to our show and through audio and ask questions live. We can have a conversation. We're going to do that actually pretty soon too.
So that connection in Discord lets you speak live into the Twitch signal.
Yes, exactly. And there's also within Discord, so there's the multi-chat feature. There's also there's a Clubhouse built into Discord. So
like Clubhouse, the Clubhouse app.
Yeah, the Clubhouse app
is in there. Wow.
Is in Discord too. So we'll host a stage usually every Friday for 30 minutes, and we do live Q&A. So Tracy and I will go on. We have a stage. People show up. You can bring them on stage, and they can ask their questions.
A specific Clubhouse stage, is that what it is?
It's well, no. It's separate from Clubhouse. It just imagine Discord has their own Clubhouse within Discord.
Oh, not the Clubhouse.
Not the Clubhouse. No, but it's the same thing.
They have their own rooms where you can chill and chat and
correct.
Talk like that. Okay.
So it's a separate chat room.
And they're probably more positive than Clubhouse, right? Hopefully.
I hope so. I don't really go on Clubhouse anymore because Discord has it, and we utilize that one, and it's very nice. I like
Clubhouse, because for some reason, I don't know what it is. It just became this negative thing that nobody really uses it that much anymore. It's crazy. Crazy. So I was going to say, like, why is it important to be on Discord? I was hoping to get this simple answer that, you get to, that's one thing, you get to communicate with your customers. Yes, but it's a whole nother level you're talking about here.
Yeah.
You're talking with them directly. You're engaging with them. They're getting these opportunities. It's this opportunity to be in special servers.
Yeah.
There is no other company doing this I'm sure there's some doing it in the universe of businesses, but in the nail business,
no,
probably not, right?
No, I think right now there will be eventually, but I think now it's just us. And we have a lot planned, for developing that community. This is where all the younger, it's newer technology. It is where all the younger, generation that's where they're going to. So we want to be there now as that community continues to grow. We're going to be right there to grow with them. So
100%. I think that you guys are, everything we talked about is you guys are always on the next step. You're always on the next
trying to be.
thing.
Yes.
You're trying to be. And that gets into something that we always end up talking about here on Race Flays with when Ramon comes on or Caesar comes on. We always end up going into NFTs.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk a little bit about that. I know you don't have too much time, but a little bit about how to create certain NFTs and how that works for a business like yours.
Yeah.
In a sphere of giving away and giving content and trying to connect closer to your customers. How does the NFT work in that respect?
Yeah. So the way that we look at, first of all, just at the bare bones minimum, what is an NFT?
Yes, probably nobody knows about that.
Yeah. So people continue to look at, what do you call it? An NFT as this is just a like a JPEG, and I don't understand.
Right click and copy and paste.
Exactly. Right click, copy, paste.
Sell that.
Exactly. So it stands for non-fungible token. And really what that means is it's a unique, you can't duplicate like mass pieces of this. It's an original sort of like individual
minted. The word
exactly.
Let's get that vocabulary for everybody that doesn't know. It's minted. It's a thing. It's a token. It's something that becomes minted. It's pressed in the virtual world or whatever.
In the world. Yeah, exactly.
It's
its own, has a unique identity, its own serial number, so to speak. It's unique in that way.
It's real.
So it's real. It is real. And so like for us, the interesting thing about NFTs is that there's something called smart contracts that you can build into these NFTs. So what does that mean? That means it's not just you're buying an image, but you can build into that NFT. Like, hey, if somebody buys a Young Nails NFT, this is kind of what I was referring to earlier, is like, okay, let's say it's $500. Okay, what do you get? Well, this is just an example. I'm not saying that we're doing this. Okay.
We're not advertising here. This
not
is
advertising.
We're not even in the Young Nails channel right now. We're on Race Players. We're not selling anything around, but no,
exactly.
We're not promising anything.
nothing. This is just an example. Like, but if it would be programmed like, okay, if you own this NFT, it doesn't matter what you order or how much you order, you have free shipping and handling for the next 3 years. Also, wow. every quarter, 4 times a year, we're going to deliver a collection of your pick. You can either get acrylic, you can get gel, or you can get like natural nail care, you can get nail polish, different colors of your choice. And it's going to get delivered to you once a quarter. On top of that, you get 1 free Zoom class every year or something. Yeah, every month or once a year or whatever it is. And this is all for the next 3 years. So it becomes somebody buys that for $500. And let's say after a year, they're like, you know what, like this is cool, but for whatever reason, I'm not in the nail business anymore. I want to sell it. And so they could sell the NFT. And so let's say there's 2 years left on the smart contract that you build in. So the first year, this person took advantage, but there's still 2 years. That's so much value, bro. Maybe the value of the NFT goes up like on the marketplace because people want it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So somebody else buys it for $600. The person makes $100 on the NFT. They get the art. This is the type of stuff
the creator gets 10% if they type that in. If they
so
happen
to 5%. We can build that into the contract as well, where we say every time it's bought and sold, Young Nails gets 10%. The actual artist that created, the piece of work gets 5%. So 15% comes out every time. And this is also why NFTs are great, because artists, musicians, it's going to cut out a lot of middlemen.
Yes.
Music companies, record companies that have traditionally taken, huge advantage of a lot of artists. Now an artist, instead of, if they've got music, they're talented, and they've sort of built up, let's say a community, let's say they've done some touring and they've built up people and they have a community of like a couple thousand people that love their music. Instead of trying to get a record deal, what they can do is say, hey guys, you're my community, 2000. I don't want to go to a record company. This is what I want to do. I want to make the most insane record for you guys, but instead of going to the record company, I want to go direct. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create these NFTs, and what these NFTs, there's going to be 2,000 NFTs. Each one is going to cost $100. But if you buy the NFT for $100, right? You buy it for $100, you get the first and second album for free. Plus you get to come to one live performance for free for $100, right? And you cannot get the album otherwise. The only way to get the album is you have to own the NFT, right?
Snoop Dogg just did that. His last new album is all on NFT.
Smart, bro. Because then what they do is they just raised, let's say they create the NFTs and they sell out. Let's say if they have a community of a couple thousand people that would do it, $100
I think
each.
The last one sold for like $7,000 because there was no more.
Right, exactly. So what happens is they sell out, they raise $200,000 before they've even done anything. And they can use that $200,000 to actually record the album. And then when it's done, everybody gets, let's say it costs $100,000 to make the album.
Whoa, wait a minute. So they haven't even recorded. So they're just selling the NFT first and then make the album.
That's what you do, bro. Wow. So you instead of the record company giving you $200,000, which you have to pay back to the record company.
Most of it goes all back to them. Yeah.
It goes all back to them. It's a loan, right? A loan. This you do yourself. And then you raise the money yourself. Let's say it costs you $100,000 to record 2 albums. Let's just say, for example, you keep 100, you can invest that in merch and then resell merch to your client. You start to build, you create a Discord channel where people can start to talk about, dude, you can build in tech later. So anybody that owns the NFT, let's say 5 years down the road, you say, you know what? I want to give somebody that owned the original NFTs. Here's what's going to happen. I'm coming out with a new single. All of you get it for free. Everybody else has to buy the next NFT. There's a lot of stuff you can do. And all this is direct, bro. You don't have to work with a record company. You can do it
That's
direct.
crazy. Yeah, a lot of the artists that I've had on the show recently, some of them have been on Epidemic Music, for example. We get a lot of our music from content from Epidemic. A lot of us do, and all that money goes directly to the artist. So that instead of being on Capitol or being on Epitaph, whatever a record company, they've got their own little contract. It's not really even a contract. They're just signed up to Epidemic as the band. Every time a creator downloads that music and pays they get a cut. They get their money direct. Like that's the future. It's crazy.
I love it. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love it. And I love where everything's going. I just love that's why I love blockchain technology so much. And I love what NFTs are doing for artists. And again, they can build into the contract that every time the NFT is bought and sold, they get 10%. And so the music, the art, if this person passes away, they pass on, everything to their family. The family in perpetuity gets 10% every time it's bought and sold,
It keeps living on. It's like I heard Gary talking the other day. He's like, well, with the paper ticket, like the Super Bowl, you had that ticket and you don't know where that thing's at.
That's right.
With a NFT ticket,
it's on the blockchain.
That thing lives on forever. It's on a blockchain.
It's on the blockchain, bro.
It can be bought and sold over and over and over again.
You can always track it exactly who owns it, where it lives on the blockchain. That's the beauty of the blockchain. Yes.
It's crazy.
It's the future. It's the future, bro. 100%.
Oh, that's sick. That's sick. I think we went over almost everything. Anything you want to promote?
No, bro. I mean, I promote, finding something that you absolutely enjoy, experiment as much as possible to find something that you truly, truly enjoy, and doing that for a very long time. That's what I promote, man. I'm a big believer in that.
Awesome, man. Well, I've enjoyed this. And the reason why I started this was because you told me about, I should have a podcast, and finally, after a couple of years, I finally got it going. So
I love it. Hell yeah.
Brother, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show. I appreciate you. And
yeah,
man.
I'll
probably see you on Monday.
100%. I'll see you on Monday.
Thank you so much.
All right, brother.
Guys, if you enjoyed the show, please check out my website, www.youngnails.com. Also, if you feel like it, go ahead and click on the support link right there in the description. For as little as $1 a month, you can support the channel. We'd love to have you do that. We'll see you soon. Have a great weekend. Take care.